Hey everyone, welcome back to Next Step Solutions. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up a TrueNAS server for your home or small business labs. But first, what is a NAS? NAS stands for Network Attached Storage, so it's kind of like a big hard drive on your network that you can use for storage across all of the devices that are connected to the same network. The best part about TrueNAS is they have a free community option, so all you really need is an old computer to get your NAS up and running. There are some recommended system specifications for running TrueNAS. You want at least a 2-core processor, either AMD or Intel, 8 gigs of RAM, a 16 gig SSD for the boot drive, and the hard drives that'll be used for actually storing your data. The SSD is for the boot drive and is very important. When experimenting with TrueNAS, running on an HDD decreased performance and increased boot and loading times considerably. Nowadays, SSDs are fairly cheap, so I'd definitely make the investment so your system is running that much better. Now that you have a system that can run TrueNAS and you have your TrueNAS ISO, let's get a flash drive so we can get everything installed. You'll need something like Rufus or Etcher to flash the drive with the TrueNAS ISO. I'll be using Rufus in this tutorial. The computer that I'm going to be using is an older desktop that I chose because of the case mainly. It's got plenty of drive bays for a mix of hard drives. TrueNAS recommends using 2 identical drives, mainly so you can set up at least a RAID 1 configuration. In this demonstration, I have 5 drives of varying sizes. 2 drives are going to be used for RAID 1, and the other 3 drives will be used for RAID 0. RAID 0 has no redundancy, so if a drive fails, you'll lose everything, but it does improve read and write speeds generally. A RAID 1 configuration essentially has 2 drives, and 1 drive mirrors the other. So if one drive fails, you at least have the other drive to fall back on. Now that our flash drive is ready, we need to boot into it so we can get TrueNAS installed on the SSD. You'll need to load into your system's BIOS and select the flash drive as the boot option. This can vary depending on your system, but generally, the escape key, delete key, or F2 key can get you into it. When it loads, you'll select the TrueNAS scale option to begin the setup wizard. Select the first option to install TrueNAS, then find your SSD in the list of drives. Select Yes to erase all existing data on the drive, and then you'll set your admin password. The default username is TrueNAS_admin, but you can change this later. Finally, you'll need to select if you're going to use UEFI or Legacy BIOS boot options. If you're unsure, choosing the Legacy BIOS boot option should work either way. Next, go ahead and reboot the computer. Once you get everything installed and reboot the computer, you should see this screen. Now you want to go to another computer on the same network and enter the IP address displayed on your device. This will bring you to the TrueNAS web interface. From here, you should be able to log in with your TrueNAS_admin username and the password you set earlier. And there you go, guys, a quick and easy setup for your own personal home NAS or media server. In a future video, I'll go over how to configure the drive pools and datasets so you can access your drives from other machines on the network. And as always, guys, thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all at the next one.